on the channel from Mcfarlane Toys, we've got DC Swamp Thing. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mcfarlane DC unboxing and review. Every once in a while we dabble with some Mcfarlane toys, and today I'm really excited for this one as we've got Swamp Thing. But remember, for all your Mcfarlane toy needs, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. And it's funny as Swamp Thing is a DC character, but in Kyle's mind, he was not a DC character. And my first memories, and really my majority of my memories for Swamp Thing, come from the movie Swamp Thing 1, Swamp Thing 2 of the 80s. Kyle, a little kid of the 80s, of course, Swamp Thing was on USA all the time. They had reruns of the movies. Then later on, there was a TV series. I believe it was on USA. That's where I remember watching it. And there was a series of this. And then a cartoon series, which, much like the Toxic Avenger, lost a lot of the fun when it went to cartoons. Didn't buy the toy line, didn't buy any of that, but I really did enjoy the 80s Swamp Thing. And then I heard, and it's funny, this flew totally over my radar. I remember one day just looking online, you're scrolling on your phone, and it said Swamp Thing canceled. And I said, I didn't even know Swamp Thing had a new TV show, and it got canceled. That's probably the reason why. And I will. It got canceled after one season, but I'd like to check that Swamp Thing TV series out. Hopefully it's pretty good. But Swamp Thing, a favorite of mine. And once again, going back to the 80s, I love Swamp Thing, of course. Watched it, watched wrestling, watched everything I watched. But when I thought DC, I thought of the Justice League. I thought of the Superpowers, the old Kenner toys. I collected all those. Never in a million years did I correlate that Swamp Thing was a DC character. Maybe he wasn't at that point, but it didn't seem like they were in the same universes. And even today, he doesn't seem like he would be a DC character. He seems like a off the beaten path, his own thing, like an Image character or Dark Horse or something. I don't know, that's just my thoughts on Swamp Thing, but the minute Mcfarlane announced this, I was here for it. And I thought it was going to be regular 7-inch scale Swamp Thing. So I was surprised that they went the big figure route, and Swamp Thing is one of those characters that can be a little bit bigger. His size changes depending on what avenue he's in. So I thought it was pretty cool that we got a Swamp Thing as a deluxe figure. I'm here for that. But then there's a GameStop exclusive version that has like a shoehorn on the top of his head, almost like an antenna. And I saw that and I ordered that first and then I canceled it. Now I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go get that one of these days. Play a little of that long game. I'll pick that one up. But I wanted more of a real memory to me Swamp Thing, and that's what this one represents. But then to make things even crazier out there, some people pre-ordered this like I did, and they got one that was all gray. It was a platinum edition, and nobody knew there was a platinum edition of this Swamp Thing. So people were disappointed that, no, I wanted the green one. I didn't want the exclusive one. Well, I would have been pretty happy if I got that exclusive one. Now I feel like I need all three versions of Swamp Things. I don't know. We'll see, though. If this is a terrible hot garbage figure, then I might change my mind on that. But right now, I would like all three versions of Swamp Things. So we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings. We got enough jibber jabber out of the way, as Mr. T would say. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll see where it goes from there. So we got the big box, much like Fezzik, Andre the Giant, Princess Bride, or even maybe Violator in the Spawn line. A very similar size package. The Violator might have been a hair bigger. Beautiful blue background against the black and white. Really does pop. And then, of course, the green figure. Swamp Thing, looking only like a Swamp Thing Mcfarlane toy could look. I like that a whole lot. Got the DC Multiverse logo, Swamp Thing. On the side, Swamp Thing from DC Rebirth. I have no idea what DC Rebirth is. Maybe the relaunch of characters. I don't know. Don't follow DC Comics. It's so funny, as a kid of the 80s, it was all about DC. Nobody talked Marvel. And then the Spider-Man and X-Men animated series came to the old Fox kids. And life was changed forever. Marvel was on its way. Then we had the Marvel Action Hour, the Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, Iron Man. Oh, it went on from there. A little cross-sell down below of figures I never wanted to buy. A lot of those figures are on Amazon right now, really cheap. Then you got Swamp Thing on the back. I think there's a little blurb, but usually there's a card, and it looks like there is a card in this one. We'll read the blurb on that. What's it say here? Each figure comes with a trading card, so there you go. But you do get the glamour shot, so that is always fun. Let's get Swamp Thing out of the package. Let's see what's doing here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what all the Swamp Thing fuss is about. How about? Oh, and then, of course, I lost a little piece. Fell off in the package. That's the way it goes from time to time, I guess. Can I get this out? I gotta get that trading card out. I'm anxious to find out what it says. See you later. Off to the side. The rare off to the side. Always love it. Always here for it. All right, Swamp Thing. This looks like it could grade a 10, folks. This might be a 10 grade on this one. I was hoping we'd have Swamp Thing backgrounds, but it isn't. It's just DC, Mcfarlane stuff. I'll get that stand out. See you later. Stand's kind of a waste of time. We've seen it before, but these big figures look so ridiculous in those little stands. It just looks strange to me. You get the Swamp Thing card. It's the exact same as the picture we got on the back of the package. Demonstrating what the action figure can do. I do like that. As before, I've griped in some of my Mcfarlane reviews how they give you just a regular card or they don't show glamour shots of the figure. It looks like they've changed that here. I'm sure they were watching my videos. Real name, Alec Holland. Oh, poor Alec. While scientist Alec Holland was working on a formula to grow plant life where there is none, a rival organization vying for the formula set off a bomb that covered Alec covered in his biorestoration serum. To escape the flames of the explosion, he stumbled into a nearby swamp where he mutated into the strange hero known as Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing has superhuman strength and ability to regenerate any portion of his body. He can also command plants to do his bidding and change locations instantly by inhabiting vegetation anywhere in the world. Swamp Thing, gotta love it. And that was kind of mutant madness back in the 80s and early 90s. A lot of mutant stuff going on. A lot of people falling into vats of acid and things like that and changing and getting mutagen on them. I remember the crazy villains in Swamp Thing 1 were just awesome. I just absolutely love that whole movie. Very, very cool. Oh, we got major twist ties going on here. I mean, like, record amount. I'm just going to cheat and go through the front. Maybe. There it is. That's how you do it. You just don't have to untwist all that. You just cut it. You just give it a little snip. And you give it the old see you later. That's the way it goes. Little plastic prison on the big Swamp Thing. Look at that. Holy cow. This kind of reminds me of Mossman. He-Man Revelations, Mossman, of course. We love Mossman. It almost makes you wonder who was based off of who. And maybe it was just a coincidence. But it does look a lot like a Mossman would look. Can I get him out? Yes, I can. There it is. Big box. See you later. Off to the side. All right, Swamp Thing. Oh, I love it. I love it. It does feel a lot like 80s Swamp Thing to me. I do feel it's like a hair big. I feel like he's a lot bigger in this than maybe he would be compared to the movie. But I'm okay with it. What is size? It's all relative. I don't have any other Swamp Thing characters to put him with. So I'm okay with this as a one-off standing there. If there was the whole line, it'd be interesting, because if the guys are down here, it would look really goofy to me. I always felt like Swamp Thing was like a 6'5", 6'6", maybe. This makes it feel like he's like 9 feet tall or something in a 6-foot scale. But I'm here for this. I like this a lot. I like the vegetation throughout. It's funny, there's a lot going on here, but there's not a lot going on here. He does have the patented red eyes. You can see some teeth going on. But then he's just got very intricate vegetation, as they said on the package. You got branches, you got trees, you got flowers, you got a little bit of everything. And this is one of those ones, I think every time you pick it up and you look at it, you're going to see something a little bit different as far as the vegetation goes. You see some moss in here. I don't see any bugs or anything. That would be a kind of a cool Easter egg, a bug or two in there. The head does move, but not a ton. Yeah, I guess it's all right. It can move all the way around if you really wanted it to. So a little bit more movement than I thought. I like the look on it, though. I mean, it looks like Swamp Thing. You take this head off, you say, who is this? You know exactly. It is Swamp Thing. Very, very cool. So then the arm, or the hand, you can't take one hand off. So he has a removable hand. Let's see how hard that is to do. You never know. It's all fun until you break them, right? There you go. Pops right off. Pops off okay. And then you pop this bad boy on. And there you go. So you got a little bit of a weapon there if you want to use something, as he can form the vegetation into whatever he wants. So that's kind of cool for some attack mode going on. No fist with Swamp Thing. That is unfortunate. He should have a fist. I don't care if he is a Swamp Thing. He does have that patented toe articulation we all love with the Mcfarlanes. Double jointed knees, single jointed elbow. Yeah, single jointed it looks like. Yep, and then removable hands, of course. You can put this on there. Head moves all around. You got that diaphragm up top. Got a little bit of waist, but it really doesn't move at all. Big time articulation for the legs. He can do a complete split if he wants to, as he should be able to. And then, like I said, double jointed knees. No bicep, or no thigh swivel on this one. He does have a bicep cut, but it doesn't look like it's operable. It is a little bit, but not really. There's some dangling pieces on him, but they do have movement to help with some of the movement on the arm. It's not blocking anything because you can move it out of the way. But man, I like this thing, and I'm a sucker for Swamp Thing, so maybe that helps. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I just think this is way, way cool. Not the most posable, articulated figure. It's not Spider-Man, for sure, but I don't think Swamp Thing was ever akin to a Spider-Man. I mean, I guess he technically could be, but he wasn't. But just very, very cool look. Very basic looking from afar, but once you get up closer and you look at the detail of the vines and stuff, there's a lot to like about this, especially if you are a Swamp Thing fan. And like I said, I think I'm looking at getting the other two eventually down the road. I don't know how hard those platinums, sometimes they're hard to get, sometimes they're fairly easy. I don't know about that old antenna Swamp Thing. That's just a head change. That's probably the least desirable of the bunch, but you never know. I might get that one and put this crazy arm on him and put regular hands on this one, and then the silver one looks like a different monster. I might go that way. We'll see. Well, what do you guys think? You picking up Swamp Thing? Did you enjoy Swamp Thing in the 80s? This is one of those movies that as you're a little kid, and it's always on reruns and stuff. It's just one you watch in between waiting for G.I. Joe or something to be on. At least that's how I was in the summertime. Always enjoyed a little Swamp Thing action. And some things never change. I'm enjoying a little Swamp Thing action today here on the channel. And speaking of the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're unboxing everything on here. You guys know that already, but make sure you subscribe. Hit the old notification bell. Give this video a like. They say that does help the channel out, so anytime I have a video, give it the old thumbs up. It's easy to do. It takes 1 second. And follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram for all kinds of breaking news, giveaways. You never know what's going to be on there, so you want to follow along, I would recommend doing that. And then ProWrestlingTees.com, of course. Support the channel. Pick up a t-shirt. So there it is, DC Mcfarlane Swamp Thing. The review is done. So I'm done with Swamp Thing, and you're done with me. So I am Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.